I'm left-handed. How about you? Chances are you're right-handed. Because we live in a world that's set up for right-handed people for whatever reason. What reason? I think I know the reason. See, the left hand is controlled by the right brain, and the right brain is intuitive, it's feeling, it's where God lives. Our connection to God is found through the right brain. Okay? The left brain connected to the right hand is the logical, thinking, rational, manipulative mind. So, if you live in a world that's set up for right-handed people and encourages everyone to be right-handed, you're actually living in a world that is encouraging logic, reason, the intellect over the intuition, over the heart, over creativity, over God. We live in a world that exalts man's intellect and man's ego over the love and the creative force of God. We have it switched. The right brain, the left hand is supposed to be the master, and the left brain and the right hand is supposed to be the emissary of the master. God is supposed to be the master of man, and man's ego and man's rational thinking mind has made its heart, our creative force, our intuition, its slave. But we can free ourselves through an understanding of what's going on. One of the ways you can do that, start to rewire your brain. Get in your heart, get in your intuition. Make yourself a receptive vessel for the guidance of God. Okay, start using your left hand. You can also blindfold yourself so that you are forced to go inward. You can do proprioceptive exercises while you're blindfolded. Proprioception is your understanding of where your body is in space when your eyes are closed. Where's your arm? You still know where it's at, right? But when you practice that sense, it gets stronger, and your intuition gets stronger, right? Walking barefoot is another good thing, because we're actually part of nature, and all of nature is connected and communicating. So when we walk with shoes on, we disconnect ourselves from that communion with the earth. You walk barefoot, you're stepping on the grass is connected to mycelium, the mycelium is connected to the tree, there's birds in the tree, they all talk to one another, the creatures on the ground hear what the birds are talking about, you know, they hear and feel and sense you coming miles and miles away because of where you're stepping. And if you're barefoot, you're disconnected from that. Or when you have shoes on, you're disconnected from that chain of communication. But when you're barefoot, you tap back into it. And over time, your intuition and your communion with nature will get stronger, and you will be clued into what's going on around you intuitively. You won't understand it rationally or logically because it's beyond the thinking mind. God transcends that. We limit ourselves when we keep ourselves in the left brain. When we switch over to the right brain, we expand and we open ourselves to God, to everything. God transcends and includes everything. If you want to be powerful, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be harmonious, you want to tap into that. That resides in the right brain, which controls the left side of the body. So do things that stimulate the left side of the body. Do things that stimulate your creativity and your intuition and your heart. You know, it used to be that women who were left-handed were condemned as witches and burned at the stake. Why? Well, because it's hard to control a human being who's in touch with God and their heart and their intuition, because that's powerful. So you want to stamp that out. You want to erase it. You want to create a world that calls that evil. It's upside down. It's backwards. The world we're living in. you know? I would be considered a witch once upon a time because I like to collect feathers. I use my left hand predominantly. I make herbal medicines. In this world, we're fine with a monkey in a white lab suit cooking up all kinds of chemical concoctions and calling it medicine. Okay? That's not witchcraft, but it's witchcraft to use the natural medicine that God made. Oh, and burning sage is wrong. That's also demonic, sage that God made. Wow, guys, this is the way that the church has stolen your light, my light, God's light. This is the way that the church is siphoning our inherent divinity and taking credit for it and telling us to lay down and worship at the feet of a man, the Pope, or a priest, to bow down at their altar. And then they call God's altar, nature, they call reverence for that witchcraft. That's a lie. That's a big fat lie. So I'm about to go take my shoes off, walk around a lake, talk to some birds, collect some feathers, and meditate and talk to God.